Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of A Knight's Ransom. We are on episode 51. 51. We have been playing for almost a year of a week, like the year span of weeks, you know? We're literally, next episode will literally have been a year's worth of content from this campaign. Yeah, it's kind of phenomenal. If you're looking to join our Discord, you can do !Discord in the chat, and it will send you our way. As I accidentally hit my watch, sorry about that. And Discord. If you also would like to check out what sort of merch we've got, you can go ahead and check us out on !Merch, and it'll link you to our merch store. I realize I'm doing all this talking, and I don't even have my own Roll20 up. Whoops. Of course, we also like to thank our sponsor, Effects May Vary, which is a local band up here in Toronto. As well as thanking our Patreon level subscriber who has the rights to be shouted out, our very own Mama Bear, who is a player on our Thursday night game. If you're looking for a game on Saturday nights and you would like to see the return of Axis Amp, our Saturday DM, you should definitely check out our job board on Discord. He currently has a posting looking for players for his Saturday game. You will get to play with familiar faces such as mine and Quentin's, as we are both ready to go in that game. If you want to see what sort of shenanigans the two of us can come up with as players, something that actually hasn't been seen since the Escorts, I think, was the last time Quentin and I were on screen together as players. You should definitely check it out once we get this game up and running. We're hoping to probably be live by mid-May. I believe that is everything for announcements, so we're going to show you our little opening film, and away we go.
Do I have access to Otter tonight?
I don't think you guys are gonna need Otter, but I will give you access for now.
Okay.
So we are, of course, missing everybody's favorite divination wizard. So hopefully they won't need him, but on the off chance that they do, Otter has given Zara permission to run his character. I promise it's not COVID.
I would say, don't die. Not on screen anyway. None of us need that paperwork.
Ugh.
Yeah, we don't need another blood work.
No, we definitely don't. I apparently don't have a pen, so I need to quickly run and grab one. I will be right back. Sorry. But when we last left this group, they were coming out of the dungeon with no long rest after having been almost decimated by a bunch of long claws.
I didn't mean to deafen myself. It was okay.
Okay, I really fucked up on roll 20. My character
Uh-oh.
sheet's up underneath the header bar, and I can't get a hold of it to move it.
Oh, just
refresh your page.
close the page. Yeah, refresh it.
Awesome, thank you.
Did it work?
I don't know, it's reloading.
Okay.
Alright, I am back. Apologies about that. What's up? Into my world
Oh, not in the
ever.
game. Not in the
I
game.
got upset and started throwing leaves. It's okay.
Oh, is that what
Not
happened?
my cabbages.
Good to know. Alright. So, you're coming out, of the dungeon, as it were. And, some of you aren't doing so hot.
Nope.
Because,
I'm actually doing okay at this point.
are
I am, yeah.
Yeah, because Otter healed them.
I healed him.
And then Bunchies did lay on hands.
I got a whole bunch of healing, and I'm back up to like half health.
you? Alrighty then.
Fred's not.
I'm okay. I remembered my password.
Fantastic. Alright. So, you are coming out of the dungeon. Some of you are a little bit worse for wear. But that hasn't stopped you before, and it's certainly not going to stop you now. So, party, ultimately, the question is, what are you doing?
We should go report that we've dealt with these creatures.
I think that would be a very good idea.
Okay. So you start making your way towards the Dauntar estate.
Is that where the party was a few episodes ago?
Well, technically, yes. It's more that that's where the two lords reside.
Okay, but it's the same building. I'm thinking of the right place.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
It's the manor next to the barracks.
It is the manor next to the barracks. Because Rollin refused to live on the barracks. He refused. Matter of fact, so did Retrice. Which is why neither of the Knight Lieutenants actually live on base. Because both of their spouses were like, fuck that. Also, if you are hearing just a teeny tiny little bit of static from my microphone, it is because it was a lot of work getting what we've got set up, and I did not have time to play around with my audio options with my microphone. So, unless the audio is really bad, please let us know. But everything seems to be working as intended otherwise. So, there's just going to be a little bit of white noise coming from my microphone. So, as you return, you are met by Jarnik, the young man who had
I feel
approached.
like we met the daughter. Did we meet him?
You did. You met the daughter and the son at the same time when you guys first arrived.
Ah.
Because they came back together. He is more standoffish than she is. However, I believe that it was Karasef who overheard Orion talking to Aethlin and Jarnik about creating a cipher specifically for those who have trouble reading. Was it Karasef? I know somebody in the party did. I don't remember who did.
I remember that happening last session, but I don't remember if Karasef was present for it.
Fred was.
It was Fred. Sorry. So, Fred, you definitely recognize this young man as the man who has difficulty reading. And that Orion, once all of this is said and done, will likely be coming back to create the first dyslexia-friendly font. For those who have trouble reading. And he regards the group of you, some of you looking a little bit more injured or armor tattered than expected. And he sort of tilts his head. What did you find down there?
A thing of nightmares. But also, hopefully, the problem has been solved.
Uh-huh. I hope so. It's nice to feel the sun on my skin. I almost thought I was turning into a ranger elf.
I forgot it's been overcast here for like months, right?
No, it's been
Years.
think, you know how Alaska is
30 days a night.
basically night for 6 months out of the year?
Should I just picture the movie Igor?
Sorry?
No? Nobody? Okay, never
No,
mind.
we
I didn't
we
hear
heard
it.
movie,
Oh.
and then whatever you said afterwards was so jumbled we could not decipher it.
Igor.
Oh.
Okay, no, I still don't know.
Okay. It's a really cute animated movie. But yeah, no, okay. Moving along. I got you.
But yeah, so it's like Alaska, where it's nighttime 6 months out of the year. Except for them, it was for the last 3 years running.
Man. Dark for 3 years every year. That's rough. Sorry.
No, you're good. I'm just like, that didn't make much sense, but sure, we'll go with that. That being said, you say it's a thing of nightmares. Can you properly describe it? We never were able to get a good look at them.
Well,
Bink.
there were two of these creatures. They had ridiculously long, bony fingers that were really, really not comfortable once stabbed through you.
They stabbed you.
More like impaled.
Yes.
And you're still standing.
Armor's a little worse for wear, but I think it's all right.
I'm all right. Been through worse.
Uh-huh.
What, you've never been impaled?
Not that way.
What are you, 12? No, I'm kidding. Sorry, he's a young elf. I'm just making a stupid joke. It's fine. I'm really sorry.
I mean, to be fair, I only said it that way because there are people in this chat who know who this NPC is and know of his predilections, so
It's just like his father's.
that is 100% correct. Just like his father's. Except unlike his father's, his ass is also into women. But that's besides the point. And also really not relevant to this conversation.
Yeah, no, I was trying to follow the bouncing ball, but it went so far off screen.
Exactly. And you are led to the manor, through the manor, and Rollin is sitting at the head of the table. Aethlin is standing behind him, sort of leaning over the chair. And as you guys are sort of observing this tableau, what you hear as you step up is, even though the sun is out, the darkness still clings to portions of the city. As if something is preventing it from leaving. Which would explain how it spread so far. Also, should point out, Orion has the MacGuffin. Orion has the plot MacGuffin.
Wrapped carefully in a thing, stored in another thing.
Yep. And it was the scales of justice.
Yep.
It was the Athena statue. And the pair seem to be talking back and forth about what they're supposed to do about this particular threat. And that if they were to try and take this out, that they're unsure as to what they're going to walk in on. Or walk into. And they look up at you, the party triumphantly returning after no one else has ever managed to return back from the middle of the night in the streets of Jongvale. With more than a little bit of surprise. You're alive. I suppose we have you to thank, then, for the sun finally shining.
I feel like we've been set up with the idea that we were just going to fail.
To be
Yeah.
fair, everybody that has gone before you into the dark has never come back. There was a precedence ahead of you.
We were able to rescue a couple people.
There were survivors.
Yes.
Oh.
They're pretty bad shape.
Huh. That's good to hear. After we lost so many, even a little bit of good news is welcome.
Did we hear you correctly when you said that maybe the ones we killed didn't end the darkness?
Well, you've ended the darkness. There are just portions of our city that are also still consumed by it. As if, like a stain on the carpet that doesn't come out with the first wash. We would hate to trouble you again. But if you were willing, I could see to it that our magic stores are open to you.
there a blacksmith around here?
Of course there are. It depends on what you're looking for.
Shields.
There are plenty of blacksmiths here who deal with shields, although I should warn you, given the mass of people we have that are of the stabby variety, most of the shields are small parrying shields. So if you're looking for anything bigger, you might have a slight problem.
That's good to know. Appreciate the info.
Of course. Now, we're making a concentrated effort to clear out these dark zones, as it were. If you could clear out maybe 3 of them, it would be 3 less that we would have to concern ourselves with. If you would be so willing, of course. I wouldn't presume to assume your service.
Of course, we'd be willing.
Thank you. And then you see the city map, and it lays out it lays out all 11 spots. And they don't seem to have any sort of significance, except as you look at it, you realize that if they were casting a spell, or focusing on casting a spell, or calling something in that area, like there was an altar set up there or something, that each of these 11 spots is actually placed fairly strategically to cover the entire city in darkness. It's like that Stephen King novel where they put the glass dome around the city, except it's nothing but darkness. It's a dome of darkness. So, having agreed to take on 3 of them, they give you 3 that are fairly clustered together. Not even a 20-minute walk between the 3 of them. And it's about 40 minutes from the barracks. They tell you that they're making a concentrated effort to try and take all of them out roughly within the same time frame of today. However, given that they think they're going to catch whatever is attempting to stop them or reconsume the city with darkness, at night, you are welcome back to your rooms at the inn to take a well-deserved rest and be ready for the night.
Thank goodness. I sure
Would
could
be
use
good.
not the long rest, just like a long rest.
The creatures that you faced, could you describe them?
I'm pretty sure
then,
Ryan could draw it for you.
But Sasha and Karasef just go back into their description about the claws and being impaled on the claws. And both Rollin and Aethlin look at them like, huh, really? Impaled, you say? And you're still alive? Did they miss all the vital organs?
What, you've never been impaled by a giant monster before?
You're pushing it. If we weren't streaming, there are things that I would say. There are actions these NPCs would take. As it is, we get just the sultry side eye from Aethlin to Rollin, who is flushed a deep green.
Well, here, let me help you. And I'm going to just cast Seeming and show them the image of the creature. Because
Good
that's...
choice.
Oh, there you go.
Once they see that, you hear the door behind them open, and you see their daughter step in. before she looks at the image, gets a curious tilt to her head, whirls around, and walks right back out.
I will drop the spell.
You are invited for breakfast with the nobles themselves, if you would so like to partake.
I could eat a horse.
Well, we don't serve horse, but last I heard, we've got a large rasher of bacon being prepared in the kitchen. If
Sold.
that would satisfy your craving
Already
for
gone.
meat.
Already walking.
Already gone to the dining room. Fantastic. Jarnik walks with you. Rollin and Aethlin just steps behind the rest of you. As you settle in at the dining room. You're about halfway through breakfast. For those that are eating meat, the variety of prepared pork is astronomical. There is bacon. There is slices of ham. There is slices of the brined female bacon. There's pork haunch. It is a wide spread of pork. This pig was large, in charge, and now serving a very large spread of people. Okay? And halfway through the meal, and Fred, for those who don't partake, there is a lovely array of vegetarian-style food for those that prefer not to eat meat. It's not quite as fresh as the pig, but again, they've been living in darkness for the last 3 years. They were doing the best they could. Venelin comes back halfway through dinner. Breakfast. Halfway through breakfast. And she takes a book, opens it, and slaps it on the table where everybody can see it. Removes her hand where it's covering off the page, and you see the image before you, exactly the creature you had just fought.
That's not what we're eating, right? This is actually a pig.
You are actually eating pig. This creature is, what you guys fought.
Yeah.
And
that's it.
Go ahead.
No, that's it.
Good.
Right on
I'm
the
glad
nose.
that I wasn't wrong. So we may have a problem.
Okay.
These are former wizards. Whatever you fought down there was a former spellcaster.
Oh, so that's where all your missing adventures. But did we just fight people that you had sent down there to stop something?
No, because for the most part, we didn't send spellcasters.
Oh, okay.
We were desperate. We weren't quite that desperate. Spellcasters don't have the same fortitude that those who fight in melee combat do. It's a proven fact. They are incredibly intelligent. They are not very resilient.
Not Karasef saying this, but I would just like to point out last session that the two melee characters were having the hardest time, and the
The two
distant
melee characters
characters
were having the
great.
hardest time because the spellcasters did not make themselves known as a problem. The moment
We're the
they
problem.
did, I almost dropped both of them.
That's true.
Just for the record. You two walked up in armor, made noise, got impaled, separated from the group, and then proceeded to be menaces while impaled on claws.
Well, I was.
One
Our
turned.
friend here
Well,
went down.
Karasef was too. He smited on a crit. Okay? He was a problem as well.
That was like...
Just because you turned into a dinosaur did not mean that Karasef was not also a threat.
No, I was a threat before I became a dinosaur. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
I identify as a threat.
Innocent little old me is a threat? No. Come on, I was raised in a temple.
Uh-huh.
Do you say that in character?
Sure, yeah, why not?
How could you? Roland is gonna take one look at you, Karasif, and just. My sister was also raised in a temple, and she is probably the scariest person in this city. Also, likely the biggest threat.
Your
So-
sister is the biggest threat to the city?
No, is the biggest threat in the city.
Karasev's just gonna jot that down for later. Try not to cause a problem with it.
The Right Honorable Ratrice Jin is the most dangerous person in this city. Because not only does she have the backing of the law, but she has the backing of the underground. You do not fuck with this woman.
Oh, she's a warlord. Gotcha.
She's a warlord who plays by a very specific set of rules that only her and her husband know. Anyway, and then Venelin just sort of watches this with sort of bored disinterest before she taps the book and she's like, "Can I continue now?"
Oh, sorry, yes.
Great.
Floor is yours.
So, they are spellcasters that tried to become liches and failed. Alternatively, they could have been sapped of their energy to be turned into something else and turned into these because it failed. Which means that something controls these things. And I don't know what that is. And if something controls it, they may come back.
Well, that's a horrid thought.
Yes, it is, considering the fact that they decimated our population for 3 years.
That, not surprising.
Look, we're good, but
How
we're
do-
good when we can see what we're fighting.
How do we find? Will getting rid of those 11 spots fix this? Or is there something else we have to worry about?
It might, but I don't think so. I think whatever's controlling this doesn't belong in this city and isn't here.
So they were sent and created and sent?
I think so. That's my best guess. I mean, look, not to say that our city doesn't have spellcasters, because we do. I mean, we have a magic academy here. It's not the biggest. And there are strict regulations and whatnot to even get in. Because Alta can only teach so many people in a day on top of his other duties. And I'm not trained enough yet to pick up teaching duties. So we only accept maybe 5 or 6 students in our academy at a time. Which isn't to say that there isn't more spellcasters. But predominantly, we are not a spellcasting town. We are predominantly towards those that like to stab people in the dark and render them dead. So, I'm thinking they were sent here. Because all of our spellcasters are accounted for.
Well, I think the
Even
first thing we
the
do is
villains
deal
are
with these spots.
outsourcing.
So Fred said that they want to deal with the spots. Karasef, what did you say?
It was more an offhand comment of, man, even the villains outsource their labor now.
So, so basically what this entry tells you is that these creatures are, thralls to evil, hatred, and pain. And it makes sense for them to have been sent here, but that means that whoever is controlling them is more evil than whatever can be found in this city. Because it's important to note that these creatures that have been identified And their name translated from Old Titan to common is a bone claw.
Yeah, that name checks out.
And it states that the bone claws will, if the magic to do whatever it is that is supposed to be done to them fails, or by some realm just doesn't succeed because this is high level magic, that the bone claws will then become the soul of whatever was being used before, will then seek out a master with a hate-filled heart. And it's possible to sway the bone claw away if your heart is more filled with hate and evil and villainy than its original master. But the fact that it hadn't, that whatever is in this town that would quantify as evil isn't more powerful than what was controlling these bone claws, tells you that there is something out there much worse than whatever you can find in this city. It also says that a bone claw will, in service to its master, it delights in causing horrific pain. It lurks like a spider in shadowy recesses, waiting for victims to approach within reach of its long, bony limbs. Once speared, a creature is pulled into the darkness to be sliced apart.
Yeah, they tried that.
You're very lucky.
We worked good as a team.
Now, it does say here that these bone claws will manifest and re-manifest over and over and over. But they'll respawn within 1 mile of their master. So they're not going to respawn here. They're going to respawn wherever their master is. So if you suddenly, run into a couple bone claws, I think you might be close.
What if they just respawn here, since maybe it's only a mile? What if they're still in town?
I don't think something that evil is here. At this point, Aethlin speaks up. Have you heard about the disappearances of the demigods? Children of the gods, like direct descendants of the gods, who have gone missing?
I believe we heard a little bit about that. Rumors.
We think this might be connected. We have reason to believe that it is. Any scouts that we have sent up to Uver, the demigod commune just outside Watandi, no scouts have come back. We stopped sending them about 1.5 years ago. Which is about when all of our problems increased. Many of these creatures that we were fighting seemed to have spawned as if from Hades himself. But given how many of our people here worship Hades and Thanatos and the other deathly gods and goddesses, we shouldn't have been visited upon by this much death. We are death dealers. That is our trade. And yet, here we are. I am left with a city that is nearly half its population in 3 years. In the hopes that maybe I might be able to rebuild. That we can bring some semblance of peace back. I'm not sure if it's going to happen. Or if it's going to work. I have faith. Well, my husband and his wife have faith. I have action. and skills. And I will be using both. But should those points of darkness be handled, we will handle the other 9. The other 8, I can count. And we will bring Jongvale back to its standard. Also, I should mention, your fastest way to get to Watandi will be by boat. And I have a captain in mind.
Oh, yeah. Damn. I just came from Watandi, didn't I?
No? I didn't think so.
No, it was one more north. You're right.
Yeah, you're from somewhere a little bit further north that's sort of off the map, but I didn't actually get finished. Look, I just wanted the area map. I wasn't expecting people to be like, oh, let's do something further up. I don't have a whole world map. I have an area map.
Happy to help.
Thanks. Shit, what was I looking for? I was looking for something. Right, Google. I have the name of the ship and their captain, so hold tight. Just gonna find it. Google Docs are great. Nope. Is this it? Nope. I'm gonna find it. Hang on. Actually, I say that, but it's not me who's gonna find it. Hey, Quentin!
Yes.
No, never mind. I actually just found it. We're good.
I was gonna say, what ship do you want? Are you looking for Theon?
No. I don't think so.
Leylon?
Oh, no, I was looking for Theon. You were correct.
You're welcome. It's like, that's
There's a ship.
Hello?
It should be putting into port in the next 48 hours. It is called the Zealous. I will give you a writ of passage to hand to the captain himself, and half a elf orc named Theon. He has a very eclectic crew. Try not to get on their bad side. Or do get on their bad side. I'm sure it would be entertaining for you. However, with this matter discussed and breakfast still to finish, I'm going to give you guys a chance to RP amongst yourselves while the DM quickly runs to the bathroom. Be right back.
Did they just suggest that we get on the bad side of people we're trying to get a ride from?
Yes.
I get why this town was covered in darkness now.
I asked Maddie something, but I have to wait until she responds to me. I know she has her phone with her, but Sasha might know Theon already, so
Hmm. Was Theon at the wedding?
no. Before Sasha is what he is now, because monstrous races don't exist here. Sasha was a gnoll before he became the like elf he is. And he was a gnoll that was on Theon's ship as a crew member.
Oh. Ah.
So it's part of Sasha's original backstory from when he was a gnoll. So I was asking if it was okay for me to still have that or not. Well, since we're a little quiet, I'm gonna post my new Crocs in the chat. For no reason except they look really cool. My cool Crocs. They're like platforms. They're hiking Crocs, apparently, which is the weirdest thing
Those
to
are
think of.
goofy as hell. Those have got grip.
They do! They've got grip, they've got straps across the back that are like Velcroed.
Oh, so the real sport mode.
Extreme sport mode. They've got grip though. And they've got like a slight platform, so I'm like, look at me and my extra inch. So stupid. Oh god. Yeah, my extreme sports mode, new Crocs. New boot goofing, you know. Oh, my goodness gracious. Oh. I was wondering why I was hearing voices. It was from a video playing in another tab.
Oh god, don't you hate it when that happens?
I was just like looking at my screen like, who said that? It's like, huh? It's like, my god.
Or like an ad updates and it switches from something silent to a movie and it just scares the crap out of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, this is a voice I don't recognize. Hello? Excuse me.
Alright, I am back. Apologies about that, guys.
What?
Alright, so, after having finished breakfast, you head back to the inn, where you are able to get yourself a long rest. Comfortable. Safe. With light streaming in through the windows. It's a peaceful sort of day, where children run in the streets and nobody is too concerned about when people need to be home by. At least not yet. After your 8-hour rest, you are able to find a blacksmith who is still open. Karasef. What are you looking for?
Just looking for a shield.
What kind of shield?
What do you have?
What are you looking for? No, you the player tell me the DM and I will tell you if you can find it here. Like, don't just say a shield. There are so many goddamn shields. Like, I know that they encompass it into one tiny little singular fucking thing, but there are so many shields. You got your tower shield, which basically would provide you full cover, but you ain't seeing shit around it. You've got, your spiked shield, which technically would allow you to attack as a bonus action. You've got, like, give me descriptions!
I was just going off the, shield in the book. You'll have to give me a minute to actually research shields.
Fine.
Get a kite shield.
What?
Get a kite shield.
Kite shield? I'm Googling that right now.
You get your crest emblazoned on it.
I don't think I have a crest. I should totally have a crest. But yeah, no, I'll totally go with a kite shield. That looks fun. How big is that? Oh, those are huge. Sure, why not? Can I set it up so that when I'm not carrying it on my arm, I can wear it on my back?
Yes.
Cool.
Now, when it's on your back, it's not technically equipped, so you won't get the AC bonus. The only time you get the AC bonus is when it's on your arm. Just so we're on the same page.
Just to throw it out there to be nosy about it, I guess. If I am army crawling prone through something and I get struck in the back.
If you are army crawling prone through something with the shield on your back, I'll think about it.
There we go. Cool. Sounds good. Yeah, I'll go for that.
Apologies, I am just quickly answering the question you asked me, Sarah.
Don't worry about that until later.
Yeah, but I had the answer. I just needed to finish typing. It's easier to type it on my phone and you don't hear the clickety-clack of my beautiful keyboard. After your long rest and your acquisition of a kite shield, basically you trade in any, scrap junk for the shield, and they accept it as a trade, because they're pretty sure they can turn it into something useful.
Okay.
That's a nice shield.
Yeah.
You, get ready to head to your first of 3 objectives. Night is falling. It is getting dark. Everybody has already cleared off the streets despite the fact that the curfew has been lifted.
Habits.
Hey, habits are hard to break.
3 years of habits are hard to break. And as you approach the first of the darkness areas, you weren't told what you were looking for. Karasef, given your intimate knowledge recently with death, destruction, and Thanatos, I need you to give me a religion check, please, sir.
Oh, religion check. I'm not half bad at those. Oh, I'm on the wrong screen. There we go. What did I roll? Hey, a 23.
Hell yeah. You figure that something like this is going to 100% likely be an altar. And so breaking and desiccating that altar would probably be your mode operandi, as it were.
Checks out. Makes sense. I'll share the info amongst the group.
Fantastic. So you're going to go into the
Probably in the
darkness
middle.
zone. What was that, Monarch?
I say probably in the middle of the dark area.
They were able to determine that the darkness area covered about 10 square blocks. So, of course, anybody without dark vision is going to have a problem seeing.
And of course, it's in the furthest room in the deepest dungeon. No.
Why would I make it easy to be destroyed?
I mean, tallest tower, highest room of the tallest tower. That'd work. Although then we could just drop the tower and be done with it.
Deepest pit in the darkest dungeon.
There you go.
Our state has fallen.
Well, let's
to
look
ruin.
for a basement or some other subterranean.
I'm gonna need the entire party to give me investigation checks.
Oh boy.
Because when has that ever gone wrong?
I've got a 10.
Yeah, I don't think I provide much support there.
What? That last one was supposed to be from Orion. He's not paying attention.
The last one is from Orion, and it's in that one. I love that. You don't really find anything. And you're specifically like looking in buildings and doing your best to find. Zara, your microphone is catching my voice again, dear.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. You don't really seem to catch anything too like in particular, but you actually sort of stumble across this one because it was buried in a back alley underneath a pile of refuse. Basically, it's buried underneath a pile of garbage.
Well, I'll take the hammer to it.
Roll me a D100, please, sir. Let's see if anything bad happens. Let's spin the wheel of wild magic. You're muted, Sarah, by the way.
Cool. I should sound better now. I just futzed with some settings.
Woo! Love it. Alright. You, let's see. What do I want to do? How awful do I want to be? It's a good question. Alright. Well, it seems as though this one is beneficial for you. Monarch, for the next 10 minutes, you can teleport up to 20 feet as a bonus action on each of your turns.
Okay.
As you destroy the altar, you are imbued with a little bit of wild magic. For the next 10 minutes, you can teleport 20 feet. Just you. As you destroy this altar, the darkness clears. So it's just like a normal nighttime darkness, you know, where it's not full darkness, so those who don't have dark vision aren't severely impeded. But Yeah, it's interesting. And it's gonna be fun. Because what could possibly go wrong? As you head to your next point that you're supposed to clear. I need investigation checks from the entire party once again.
My turn.
Oh man, my investigation rolls are awesome.
I actually did okay this time.
Yes, you did. Monric and Fred, you guys find the house that this is properly supposed to be in. Not properly. You find the house that this is encased in. And what do you choose? Or who chooses to destroy this altar? Basically, as soon as you get to this one, Monarch, your ability to teleport is gone. You were using it pretty, easily to be able to go through this investigation as quickly as you did.
Could I try dispel magic on it?
Yeah, you could try. Go ahead and roll me a check, Mother Dearest. It's a D20 plus your spellcasting modifier.
Spellcaster is charisma. I'm drawing a blank. Roll slash.
D20 slash roll 1d20 plus your charisma modifier.
Oh, I did that wrong. You know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna roll my dice. 20
Total or nat 20 on the die?
total.
Okay.
15 plus 5.
You attempt to do so, and nothing happens.
Oh.
Looks like it's hammer time again.
Roll me into the D100, Monarch.
Boy.
Oh boy. That was a low roll.
All right. Well, Fred and Monric, and then I have to ask the very important question: are Sasha and Karasef with them?
Yeah, why wouldn't we be together?
Well, I mean, you could have just waited upstairs while they went and investigated.
Oh. No, I
I
wouldn't.
really
No.
think we're gonna leave our soft ones alone.
I
Well,
mean,
Monarch's with them, I suppose.
We're
Actually,
not
no,
guarding the door.
Monarch is
There
there.
might be scarier stuff downstairs.
Cool. Fantastic. I am going to need all of you to give me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Yeah, we're all screwed.
All 4 of you.
Oh, I've got something for saving throws. Are we all close to each other?
Yeah, that's why I
Oh,
asked
yeah.
if you 2 were down there.
That's true.
Yeah. So you guys get stuff for ours. Then
Plus
we get
5 to
stuff
your
for
saving
each
throw.
other.
Can I use my DM's inspiration because I haven't done it? Used it?
Yeah,
Free roll.
of course you can.
What's your
There.
charisma modifier for
Mine?
no,
Zara.
Karasef?
Charisma?
Yeah.
I'm looking at Orion's sheet. I'm like, it's definitely not that.
Yeah.
Plus 5.
Okay, so plus 10 all around.
Nice. And then 5 to each of us. What was it? Dexterity? Okay, that's a 16. I didn't mean to have that come from Orion. I'm going to stop playing with this now.
All right. Well, anybody who rolled lower than a 15, you'll be taking the full brunt of that.
Wow.
Anybody who rolled 15 or higher will be taking 16 points of fire damage. As Monric smashes the altar and causes a fireball to erupt out of it.
Oh.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you think this was going to be easy?
No. I knew it wasn't.
When we find the next one, let me try my hand at it.
You all
I'm
need
all
to
for
give me
that.
investigation checks. You know how this works by now.
Investigation. Hey, it's my best investigation check yet.
And I'm once again in the dark.
Oh, me too.
The dice take it. The dice giveth, and the dice taketh away.
Here. Orion. Finally coming through, my guy. Jesus. He's not even here to defend himself.
Orion and Karaseth, working together, the pair of you managed to find the next one. Without issue.
Excellent. I'm gonna stand back from it a bit, and I'm just gonna cast Eldritch Blast at it and see if that works.
Give me a D100 roll, please, dear.
Okay. 21.
Okay. Alright, so you know those really dumb shonen animes?
No.
With the...
You're gonna have to be way more
Yeah,
specific.
no, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. With the, you know, like, whenever it's, like, spring and the sakura petals are just floating across the screen half the fucking episode.
Sure.
That's what's happening right now.
Oh, it's so pretty.
Like, flower petals and illusory butterflies flutter in the air within 10 feet of you for the next 10 minutes.
I'm gonna hold a hand out with just one finger out and try and get a butterfly to land.
It just, like, passes through your hand. Although, you don't see it, but everybody else does, is that there is a singular butterfly that has landed on the top of your hood.
Fantastic.
Well, that was exciting.
This is a perfect representation of it. Zara. In chat. This is basically you. You are the lead in a fucking shonen
There you
anime.
go. Okay.
But you managed to clear out those three, and as you exit out of this basement, you are ridiculous. You guys are able to see the city sort of breathes easier, as if the other 8 patches of darkness have also been handled. You return to the inn, where there is a raucous party happening right now. It is loud. It is boisterous. You are welcomed as the heroes of the city, with the promise that nobody is going to fleece your pockets while here. Mostly because it would be against the rules of the tavern, and everybody follows the rules of this particular tavern. Mostly because you don't want to know what that kitsune might do to people who don't. So, you settle in to enjoy the party, partake in the food, the drink. Your particular drinks are on the house.
Oh, it's a raucous good time.
It is a raucous good time. And, the night passes. There isn't too much in the way of, games of chance or others like that. It is mostly just a very loud, boisterous, and yet relaxing evening. There are soldiers that filter in and out of the bar, some just coming off shift, or some getting a couple pre-shift drinks. Still not entirely sure if the city is completely free. But like you guys said, habits are hard to break. When you finally find your beds, it is with the knowledge that you have done well and saved Jongvale from a serious and deadly threat. But you have to wonder, what was so important in Jongvale that they sent this to keep the two knight lieutenants, for the most part, confined to the city? Why was this city so important to control? Those thoughts filter through your minds as you're laying down to sleep, or as you're sitting up to meditate, or whatever it is that you are doing to pass your next long rest. And then, as you settle in, dawn breaks once again. Your long rest done. Dreams safe from Morpheus. For now. When you wake, the first place that you head is to break your fast. The next is to the docks, where you see a large, beautiful vessel docked at one of the larger docking ports in Jongvale. Emblazoned, burnt into, and well painted into the side. Like it's basically been carved out. The carving was burnt to make it nice and smooth, and to give it a little bit of like a nice dark background before the wording was painted. Is a ship called the Zealous Maiden. With your writ of introduction from the Knight Lieutenant, Aethlin Dontar himself, you approach the ship. It's quiet. And it's, almost seems like it's deserted. As if nobody is there. As you're regarding the ship, a man leans over the edge, over the railing. He is human, with long, white hair left to hang about his face. And he regards you with mild curiosity, as if he's not sure what you're doing at the docks this early.
Oh, there.
I don't assume you're with the guard, are you?
No, we're not.
Ah, well, then unfortunately you're of no use to me. Good day. And he pulls back and walks off. From behind you shows up a half-orc who is sort of stumbling his way forward, and you hear him yell out, Vanvol, we need bail money. And the white-haired man comes back to the edge of the ship. What do you mean you need bail money? Well, you see, the captain got himself into a bit of a scuffle, and then Micah got involved because, you know, she likes a good brawl. And, then somebody said something about Ralton's mother, and, well, Ralton doesn't take too kindly, even though he doesn't like his mother, about people saying terrible shit about his mother. And so the three of them got arrested last night. I was passed out at the table at the time and didn't get caught up in it. So we need bail money for those three. And Vanvol looks exhausted as this half-orc is talking. Ugh, well, fine. Hold on. And he disappears for about 15 minutes before he comes back, with 3 pouches. Like, he's tying 3 pouches to his belt, as he descends, before he gestures to the ship and just orders this half-orc. Borak, get on the ship. Get it ready. We're gonna head out after. I'll go get them. Blasted idiots.
Oh.
This is why he doesn't take me to these. He wouldn't get into trouble. And then he wouldn't have stories to tell. And Vanvol sort of just grumbles and ignores the party entirely. However, Borak puts his arm around Sasha's shoulders and another arm around Karasev's shoulders and says, Friends, I recognize you. You guys were the talk of the town. Am I still drunk? Yes. Does it matter? No. What are you doing at the docks outside of our ship this early in the morning? And why are we not still drinking? just rendered Karasev completely silent. There is no reply.
We're not drinking because it's early. But we're seeking passage on your ship.
Passage on our ship? Fantastic. Where are you looking to go, my friends?
Watandi.
Fantastic. That's actually going to be our next stop on our shipping manifest. We just have to finish loading whatever we have left here. And then he looks at the giant pile of crates that haven't actually been loaded yet onto the ship, and he's like, huh. Where the fuck is the rest of my crew? Hold on. And he gets up and heads onto the ship via the gangplank. And you hear him basically start knocking heads together to get the crew of the Zealous up and going. And they come out hungover, grumbling, to finish loading their cargo onto the ship. But he gestures for the 5 of you to come aboard. Now, of course, the captain will have last say, but, well, the captain trusts my judgment. I'm sure everything will be fine. But just in case, you do have a writ from somebody about passage with us? Yes?
Mhm.
Fantastic. Darling, you are delicious. Has anybody ever told you that? You gorgeous. And you're not interested. That's totally cool. Totally fine. Not gonna change what's gonna happen, and then he just goes off to do his job. Everybody's looking at Fred like
Nope.
Oh, I love this. It takes about almost 3 hours for them to finish loading everything onto the ship. And in addition to the 3 hours it takes them to finish loading everything onto the ship, it takes 3.5 hours for the first mate and to come back with their 3 drunkenly apprehended other crewmates. Theon is hungover, to say the least. Ralphin and Micah, on the other hand, not so
Makia.
much. Huh?
Makia.
Makia, thank you, sorry.
That's okay.
Makia, on the other hand, doesn't look impressed to see the 5 of you standing on the deck of the ship. Now, out of the way and not interfering, but you're not crew, and she's immediately distrustful.
She's the captain, correct?
No. Theon, the one that is still drunk, is the captain.
Thank you.
He has a shield strapped to his belt, and as you watch, a large hyena comes bursting out of the captain's quarters and greets him with its cackling laughter. And Theon just crouches down and gives this hyena all the love and affection it possibly can.
Dog.
Oh, it's a hyena. And her name is Win. And, who might you be?
Kariseth Gilmore.
Monric Black Knight.
My name's Fred. Fred's not comfortable on the boat at all.
Mom's having flashbacks to the shit that I did to her the last time she was on this boat.
Instead of doing like a name introduction, I'll just take off my helmet.
Theon stands up, and I'm gonna send you a question real quick, and I need you to answer it for me ASAP.
Mm-hmm. Answer cool.
Kariseth, Monric, and Fred and Orion are all greeted with cordiality. Polite kindness. Sasha. He takes one look at you. Takes a look at Ralphin and Makia. Snaps his fingers. Wynn immediately turns around and crouches down as if to growl at you. And both Makia and Rylton walk up to you, grab you by your upper arms, and drag you to the edge of the ship.
It'd be unfair to do this while I'm in my armor.
Captain's orders, dear.
Ugh. He
And
knows he's going to get a hole in the bottom of his ship if he does
They
this.
they turn you upside down over the railing.
Mhm.
However, as anything like would start to fall out, like Rylton and Mackie are grabbing it, like sliding it onto the deck so you don't actually lose anything.
Yeah.
Because just because the captain ordered them to do this does not mean that they are, they want you to lose your stuff.
Sasha?
Theon, we parted as friends.
Theon just walks up, arms crossed over his big barrel of a chest. We did,
Stop.
but you seem to find more enjoyment on land than on the sea. I think it's time to reacquaint you with the sea, don't you?
Oh, I've spent a lot of time around water, please.
I'm sure you have. Can you swim in all of that?
No.
Let's find out. And they basically do this like bit where they keep threatening to drop you. They'll like hoist you up and let you go only to catch you again. Like typical hazing ritual of friends who haven't seen each other in a really, really long time. Before Theon just sort of waves it away as you get, you're righted back, feet on the deck. And Theon just pulls you into a great big man hug.
Wonderful. The next time you do that, I'm throwing up on your fucking ship.
You'll clean it.
If you can catch me.
It's always good to see you, Theo. It's good to see you, Sasha.
And you.
How's your brother?
He's well now.
And your partner?
Doing well. He would have been at the wedding.
Okay, thank you. So
Sorry.
Okay, let me rephrase. Does he know, does Sasha
Theon
refer
knows?
to, no, does Sasha refer to his partner as his husband or as his partner?
Husband.
Then Theon would have asked, how is your husband?
Oh, yes, he's good. Waiting for me to come home.
Well, hopefully the winds will be kind to us and we'll get you to Watandi faster than normal. And then Theon, despite his mildly drunken state, weaves off. Although you notice that his movements are more in tune to the way that the waves are moving the ship than anything else. So he looks like he's not walking in a straight line, but he is completely steady as he goes across this deck. Which was actually something really funny. Sorry, I'm derailing this for just a hot second. Somebody pointed it out in the Pirates of the Caribbean movie, where we always see Johnny Depp like walking around and looking like he's drunk all the time. It's because his sea legs and the way that the ship would roll and everything, that's how he has to walk on the ship to maintain a straight course and counteract what happens on the waves. I just thought that was a really interesting detail. Like, this is not just Johnny Depp being Johnny Depp. This is Johnny Depp being a sailor who's used to being on the sea 90% of the time. Which I thought was just kind of, like, absolutely fascinating. Anyway, back to the campaign. Sorry, random little tidbit fact of the day. As a group, you get settled into one of the crew cabins. Makia still doesn't trust the four of you. Sasha, she knows Sasha. Sasha is trustworthy. You get points for being in Sasha's company, but you have more points against you given the fact that you aren't crew.
She'll get over it. She's like this with everyone.
I was just getting ready to levitate you, Sasha, if they let you go. I was not going to let you go in the water.
No, thank you. Theon has his sense of humor.
Hmm.
Uh,
I'm assuming there's a story here.
Just old friends.
Okay.
He's one of the reasons why I got out to travel so often.
It's always nice to find friends again.
And this whole crew is, well, they're basically like a second family, so we're in good company.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. I'm just not comfortable on a boat.
If anybody knows how to get us there faster, it's going to be Theon.
Okay.
what could possibly go wrong on a boat?
I know.
That being said, with you preparing to leave the city, I don't want to move us too further ahead without Otter, because I know that he's still got a couple last minute things that he wants to do here in Jongvale. And in the essence of not completely retconning what you guys just did, we are going to call it here for the night. And everybody will be happy to know that you've leveled up. Congratulations.
Yes.
So everybody, just to repeat, if you want to join our games here on Dire Bear, we currently have a game that is looking for 2 more players, on Saturday nights from 7:30 to 10, well, from 7 to 10, somewhere in that range. It may be 7:30 to 10:30, currently unsure. So you can find all of the information about that posting up on the job board. If you don't know where our job board is, you should join our Discord using !Discord. Excuse me. As well, if you want to see what kind of merch we've got here with Dire Bear, things like this lovely notebook, or sweaters, t-shirts, track pants. We have a wide variety of things for you to purchase. All of that stuff goes to help directly support our efforts to bring you the best show that we possibly can. We'd like to thank our sponsor, Effects May Vary, which is a local band here in Toronto, as well as our Patreon supporters, only one of which right now who currently subscribes at a tier to get shout out, which is our very own Fred, Mama Bear herself. You should pay attention to Monday night's game. There's an NPC that might be coming out very soon, courtesy of Mom herself. We know that tonight's production was a little bit less than what we normally have. The guy that runs this normally was unfortunately traveling and could not make it, and such. We didn't think we needed as much help as we wound up needing. But it's okay. We managed to get it mostly together so that everybody could see our lovely faces once again. We are still in the pandemic, ladies and gentlemen, so please, please, please remember, social distance if you can, wash your hands, sanitize if you can't get around to washing your hands, wear a mask if you're not feeling well, or if you're not comfortable just being around that many people. Be kind to one another, and remember, roar for initiative. We will see you all next week.